Good morning, Magic players. Welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering, the latest hot news, and we do Q&A. Get your questions ready. We're going to have a great discussion about the whole oh man, what a morning this is going to be as we can dive into the nuances of Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, getting banned. And also, we do Decklist reviews. So if you got a 75 you need some feedback on, send it over here. We most definitely, both myself and the community, find the nuances, fix the mana base win condition, help show up your bad matchups. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for February 11th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, Merfolk Master. So let's brew up that coffee and brew up the conversation. Welcome, Frederick. Good morning. Finally, Uro is gone. Time to bring Glimpse. Well, I have a feeling that we'll not unban that. But you know what? The unbannings. Someone asked me, like, hey, Nikachu, what's your unbanning prediction? Fact of the matter is, the unbannings are, like, completely random. You never know what they're going to if they're going to unban anything at all and when they do that. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Lewis. Don't feel bad at all for the poor souls that invested into Uro Online. Can I get my meme here? Where's my meme? I was sitting on this meme for so long. So long. Here, check out my meme. And the caption is, when Uro gets banned, but you don't own any. We made that during a stream a long time ago. I just noticed it in my sort of waiting in the weeds directory. And finally, I could unleash that meme on the world. Yeah, if you don't own Uro, nothing to worry about. You're just smooth sailing. Good morning, Cactus of Ishmok, Ivan, Jose, Olaf the Snowman, Ivan again. Where is everyone? Rest in piss, Uro. Good morning, Lord Magicus. Goodbye, Uro. Don't forget to take Plague Engineer some free bullshit with you. It's so, you know, like that's the problem with Plague Engineer. Like, I want Plague Engineer banned, but like the odds of that happening are basically maybe not 0%, but it's so low. It's so low. Good morning, BBB. Good morning, Maelstrom MTG. How are we feeling about not having to factor Uro into deck building? Not good, honestly. You know, I didn't mention in the video, but if there's one person that's not happy about Uro's banning, it's me. It's me. So let me show you this. MTG Goldfish Nikachu. Now, so if we look at my results for 2020, I actually have more published finishes for 2020 than any year I ever had before that. I don't think there's that much change in my behavior. I still play quite a bit in just part-time in my spare time, but like I have more published finishes than ever in any other year, and I could contribute almost all of that to Uro. Honestly, that was such a free win. It got hard near the end of 2020 and getting into 2021. They adapted significantly for creature matchups, particularly the prowess matchups. But there was a time where they had like 4 Path to Exile, no other spot removal, 1-0 Supreme Verdict. Like, how the hell do they beat me? They can't beat me at all. Near the end, they started adding things like multiple engineered explosives, more Supreme Verdicts, Fire Spout, more sweepers. But like for a long time, they were so cold to Merfolk. It was basically a bye. It was an easy victory. Now that easy win is going away. So that's not good for me. Whatever. Goodbye, Uro. So long, sucker. Morning, Aaron. Realistically, play Modern Landfall Zoo in the new meta as a tier 2.5 deck. Maybe. We'll have to see. Like, it's hard to predict exactly what the modern metagame is going to look like when Uro goes away. Because one thing for sure, there will be more thoughts. There will be more like Jund-like decks because they have a reasonable way of winning. If you play leagues online, you're constantly up against Uro deck. Uro. And if you're like a Jund player trying to 1-for-1 people with Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push, I mean, you're just going to get trounced by the Uro deck. It's just way too much value. Those decks will be better now and be better positioned, so we might see them more often. And like, well, they have a lot of removal for your Zoo deck, basically. So but it's hard to tell exactly how the metagame is actually going to shake out in the long run. Good morning, Ben. RDNT. Good morning, Jason. Sup, Big Daddy Nikachu? School got canceled because of freezing weather. Time to watch a stream. What is freezing weather is considered down there? You know, even if it's minus 40 here, minus 40 degrees Celsius in Winnipeg, Manitoba, you go to school. No excuses. Morning, Fraser. Good morning, MTG Ectoplasm. Morning, Niels Nielsen. Yes, it's Star Bunny Coffee. That's right. What if they ban Uro just to have space for the next broken Simic card? But what is that next Simic card going to be? I mean, the next broken one might be Ice Fang Quaddle, but it's not as broken without Astrolabe in the format. Good morning, Nieko. Good morning, Daisy. All right, so if you are new to the channel, remember, if you want to be part of the conversation, or specifically, if you want to ask a question, please use 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your questions amongst all the comments. I'm receiving them from multiple YouTube channels and a Facebook page. Or if you're on YouTube, you can always donate with super chats. Pushes your comment directly to the top, and I'll definitely see it. Magengar, your top 5 non-Uro cards you wanted to be banned in Modern in Pioneer? Oh, I have no idea. I haven't played that format in a while, so I have honestly no strong opinion. For anyone that's playing Pioneer, I'd love to hear some thoughts. So if anyone has some strong opinions about what should be banned in Pioneer, like from what I heard, it's like a relatively balanced format at the moment. It's just nobody's playing it right now. So if anyone's playing a lot of Pioneer, I would love to hear it. Maybe until we get those answers, I'll answer some stuff. Would Mystic Reflection Master Waves combo be possible in Mono Blue for Pioneer, possibly in Wizard Tribal with Naban and double triggers? I'm going to repeat, the gameplay is about to roll out on Mystic Reflection on my my VOD channel, Nikachu MTG Streams. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think this is a worthwhile combo. It is primarily a removal spell. Mystic Reflection is a removal spell first, combo enabler second. If we look at Mystic Reflection, like choose target non-legendary creature. Next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copy as the chosen creature. This is a way of getting around evil planeswalkers and evil creatures that you normally can't deal with. In my opinion, it is you need so much mana to get that payoff with Master of Waves that I don't think it's worth it. If you're gonna play the card to combo off with Master of Waves and Pioneer, it's just gonna be a jank combo, in my opinion. It's like it's value that's available there, but that should not be the primary reason that you play Mystic Reflection in your deck. Any specific deck that can benefit from the Uro ban? Yeah, Jund decks. And maybe if enough blue decks disappear from the metagame, combo. Combo would be much better off. Like things like Neobrand are held off because there's so much Uro piles in the top 32s of like modern challenges. So any like glass cannon combo decks, you know, there's going to be less remands, mana leaks, archmages, charms, force negations, and cryptic commands to like fight through. What is my prediction for the rules changes of double face cards? My prediction is that you can only, if you cascade into a double face card, you probably can cast both sides so long as it has converted mana cost less than the Cascade spell. That's my prediction. Or maybe Cascade only affects the front side. I don't know. I don't have strong opinions about this. What's a Pioneer? Does Pioneer still exist? I guess people aren't really paying attention to Pioneer. Reclamation and maybe Nykthos. Nykthos, I will admit, it's like it sort of sucks to be up against Nykthos in the mono green decks. They have just so much damn mana. Okay, isn't any other old questions? Uro is already down to $17. Let's check that out. All right. We're on MTG Goldfish because they have a price history for both Magic the Gathering online and paper. So the online price is still pretty strong. If you can somehow sell your Uros, I would fucking do it. I have no idea what would keep Uro's price up online. I mean, there's a lot of big events happening this weekend. So, I mean, if you need your Uros, then I mean, you need them, so maybe the price won't collapse yet. But like, you know, okay, let's say you have a play set of Uro. It's like, that's $240 US. That has got to be worth more than whatever you can win in the tournament on average. Like, that's a big win if you just sell out of your Uros. Because if it gets banned in Legacy, it has no point online. Now we look at tabletop. It's doing okay. Where's the $17 thing coming from? I don't know. Let's go to Magic the Gathering Online Traders. What are they selling Uro for? No, it's still healthy. It's still strong at $60. Hasn't gone down yet. It will go down, though. It will go down. I lost my car keys. LOL, fuck my life. That sucks. Sorry about that, CG. Find your car keys. Check your couch. It's a good place to start. I'm actually here for a coffee and MTG. Got to get that coffee ready. We got a whole hour ahead of us. But we're going to have fun. It just blasts by just like that. The last time I felt this good from my deck, Oko just got banned. And in both those situations, I was not happy about those bannings. I mean, I know they're necessary bannings, Oko and Uro, but I was favored Merfolk. That metagame favored Merfolk big time. Do you think Stoneblade will return? Yes. So the more mid-rangey decks are going to do better because they're mid-range. Like, they won't get outvalued badly by the Uro deck. So I think stuff like Stoneblade definitely is going to be more prominent coming into the near future because they were like a slower deck. And you couldn't be too slow in the metagame. The Uro decks forced you to be like super fast combo, super fast aggro, like is it Prowess and Mono Red Prowess, or Merfolk or Spirits. That was the metagame. Next time, Simic Mythic, I guess Merfolk is going to be something like whenever an opponent taps, a Simic Mythic. Whenever an opponent taps a permanent they control, draw one, exile a card from a hand, add green or blue. Well, I don't know, maybe. We'll see what happens. I can't predict what Wizards of the Coast is going to bring to us. So Swati says, I'm running a Tron variant, but don't yet have Chalice of the Void. I don't know what I'd get rid of in the main for them when I do get them. Was wondering if you could give me some advice. You got to submit your deck list at Decklist Review. So about half an hour from now, we'll do Decklist Review, and you have to submit it, and you got to be chosen at random for that feedback. Will you make more Commander content in the future if you play Commander? Maybe a little bit. I got to move where the views are. So as a content creator, if if I make any Commander video, if it gets a lot of views, I'll keep making some. If they don't, I'm going to dump them. I'll just snap dump them. I got to move where the views are. You people love my banned tier list videos. I'm going to be making one today, and we're going to keep going with that because that's where the views are. And I am not really dominantly a Commander content channel. I mean, I would say I'm in the pony level of understanding the nuances of Commander. I don't even know the rules properly. But it's not out of question that I could make Commander content. It's just that I know much more about Modern. That's what you're all here for. I'm a Modern authority. Okay, they should make the same ruling for cards like Release to the Wind. I don't know what this card is. Someone should like artist alter the image to this guy like peeing into the wind. Release to the wind, or he's farting or something. I don't know. Exile target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. I see. Okay. I have no idea how it's supposed to interact like this. I think right now it might be fine. I mean, oh no, you could go Valky turn 1, but it's such a blowout. I don't think this is a broken interaction to go like Valky turn 1, turn 2, play release to the wind, because you could get blown out by a removal spell. Although this is instant speed. Doesn't sound that broken though. Yet. Oh, check TCG player for the Uro cards. Could be. The price might not have adjusted online because no one wants to pay for that price yet. But look up Uro Titan TCG player. True story. Okay, let's look. Oh yeah, it's collapsing. Okay. TCG player is a much better indicator of what the market is. So it's not 17 yet. It appears to be, I mean, this is the lowest price here, 23 bucks. But going down. I don't know what this is reflecting. I mean, if the market, the lowest price on the market is $23. I mean, maybe that's not the lowest that's sold. I would not be surprised if the price settles somewhere between like 15/20-ish dollars. If it's super banned. Because the commander players will definitely want them. Like even right now, Oko Thief of Crowns is worth money. Like it's not worthless. $20. So I mean, this used to be an $80 card. Or 60, I don't know. I can't remember the height of Oko. Because it got so powerful so quickly that people stopped buying them because they just assumed it was going to get banned. So, and Uro's going to be in that same situation where it's not going to become worthless. If you bought paper Uros, they'll be still worth something. Maybe not worth as much as you bought them for, but they're not going to go down to zero because, I mean, it's going to become a commander staple. What does this mean, Diamond Hands? I'm hearing this reference all over the place. Is banning 3 CMC Cascade a real option? No! No, what, you're gonna ban all the Cascade spells? I mean, okay, if enough new mechanics got broken by Cascade, I could possibly see it happening. But right now, it's just one stupid card called Tybalt's Trickery, which is which, by the way, you know what? Someone brought this up. Okay, so let's talk about this. The Cascade spells. Let's talk about the Cascade spells. It is not reasonable to ban the Cascade spells right now. So first off, the only problem here is that the rules around double-faced cards are stupid. Like, you should not be able to Cascade into a 2-mana spell and then cast the 7-mana half. Like, that doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. So if they fix the rule, Cascade isn't a problem. Now, there is one other problem. That's Tybalt's Trickery. I think this is an absurdly stupid combo. But here's the thing as well. If they ban Mystic Sanctuary, these decks get really bad really fast, in my opinion. Or at least, maybe my version gets bad really fast, because you would Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek is a huge beating to this deck. But if you have Mystic Sanctuary in your deck, you go like blue land, island, 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 Mystic Sanctuary, put it back on top of your deck, and you get back into the game. So Tybalt's Trickery, either this card is worth getting banned, or there's some other card that they could ban and make these decks really bad really fast. But then again, there is the what's it called, the Magic Aids version. I don't know how stable it is. Certainly did not stand up to the heat, but none of the other variations did to the new Valky deck. We just gotta wait and see. I think it's worth banning Tybalt's Trickery. I think it's a stupid card. Anyone ever search for their keys and then realize the keys were in their hand the whole time? Not keys, but I did that with things like scissors before. I'm looking for the scissors. Where's the scissors? I'm holding the scissors the entire time. I spend like 40 minutes looking for scissors. Oh, it was in my hand. Time to put Modern in the junk? You mean like go Abzan? James Gilberto, good morning. How is the Fish Fam today? I think we're doing great. Overall, I don't know. What part of the Fish Fam is happy that Uro is banned? Maybe there's some number of people who are tired of that deck. I joke that spirits and merfolk are the heroes of modern. They come in and beat up the unfair, degenerate, dumb decks, then sink back into mid-tier once the meta is fair again. That's the reality of it all. Do you think Uro was represented the amount it should have been, or were there not as many people playing it as they should have? No, it was underrepresented. It was great. It was Uro took like, if you looked at my like top 10 decks to beat for months, I said these Uro control decks, they're underrated. They're underrated, super underrated. It's the best deck in the format. Not enough people are playing them, and it was just so expensive. And you know, basically, it got to a point where, because mana traders will only lend you about 1,000 ticks worth of cards, and these Uro decks were getting to 1,100, 1,200, and near the end 1,300. So you basically needed to buy somewhere between, like, you needed to buy like $500 worth of the deck first, and then rent the rest of it out under like their tier 3 subscription. And so anyway, it was underrated. And if you could not pay for it or didn't have the money to fork out to rent it, you were not playing it. As simple as that. So I think it was grossly underrepresented in the metagame. Grossly underrepresented. Might have seen way more play in paper because people already owned a lot of the paper singles. And all you needed to buy was like Uros for the most part. Anyway, in my opinion, it was grossly underrepresented. Will the community rally around Uro and drive up the price like Wall Street Bets did for GameStop? There's like no reason to, though. Do you think that Omnath decks will cut Omnath for more value than jam a Stoneforge package? Like 4-color Stoneforge is a real threat? I don't know. I don't know where Omnath is going to go after this. I'm hearing a lot like, I'm not sure. I have no idea what's going to happen to Omnath after this. To be fair, like Omnath didn't see play in any other deck except the one Uro deck. We have to wait and see. What does it take, in your opinion, to become an MTG Archetype master? You have to play the deck consistently. You have to be winning over a long period of time. You can't be like, oh, I did really well this 1 month. No, you have to, like, you need to play the deck at least 1 year. And so that when the metagame changes, you're changing with the metagame and you can still win. It really means nothing to me like you took the deck when the deck was well positioned in one metagame. Now a new set comes out, things change, you don't win with it anymore, and you dump it. Like, you're not that's not a master. The master does not dump their deck. The master adapts the deck because they're a master of the archetype. So anyway, that's the way I look at it. You need to be winning with the deck over like a long period of time. You need published results. Will we see some 2x modern or no ban list modern soon? Nope, because there wasn't enough interest in those videos when I made them. Like I said, as a YouTuber, I'm going to move where the views are. So if I make like a tier list video and I get 10,000 views versus a 2x modern video and I get like 1,500 views, I'm going to keep making 10,000 view videos. I mean, like, I know there was some niche popularity for it. I didn't mind proposing it. If anyone else wants to like carry on that idea, that's good, but I'm done with it. What do you think about Cash Raiders and Merfolk after Uro gets banned? I mean, Cash Raiders wasn't very good before Uro existed. Gazpacho asks, do you think spirits will increase or decrease in the modern meta with the Uro ban? Uro is a good matchup, but generates these stupid red aggros, and that can still beat Uro and spirits. What do you think? I have no idea. I actually don't know. I'm going to guess that spirits will get a little bit weaker because they are going to lose one of their better matchups that they would face over and over again. I think it's just like how this Uro banning is not going to be that good for Merfolk. I think it's in the same situation with spirits. On the other hand, like, but it's hard to tell because maybe the mid-range decks can eat up the prowess decks and eat up, you know, those stupid aggro decks, and maybe which are very difficult for us. And maybe they can also put a beating on things like Heliod Company. So I don't know how the metagame is actually going to shake out. It's totally random. We're just gonna, like, they're gonna go to war in the leagues, and then we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. But one thing we know for sure, there'll be less good matchups. If Uro gets banned in Legacy, what was Magic the Gathering online price be? 3 ticks? Maybe lower. Like, it's worth... I don't know if it's completely worthless. I don't know what the value of a random mythic is online for Commander. I imagine it's not worth very much, but I could be wrong. Maybe it'll end up being like 3 or 5 ticks or something like that. There might be some people who are like, well, 3 ticks. Well, I don't want to sell it for that much. They'll just hold on to their cards instead. What was your favorite meta? In other words, the meta you had the most fun in, not the ones that you did well in. I had the most fun? Oh, maybe the OG meta? Like, when there was, like, Splinter Twin, Birthing Pod, but it might have something to do with the fact that, like, Modern was really new, and there was a bunch of different decks, different people playing. It was a really, it might be because it was like a really fresh format. There was a lot of hype around Modern at the time, but like that was like the meta was like, I don't know, Jeskai Control. There was like Teamer Scapeshift, Birthing Pod, Splinter Twin, Affinity, Jund with Deathrite Shaman. No Bloodbraid Elf though. Deathrite Shaman though. What else? There was a lot of stuff. It felt very strategic back then too. It's all downhill from there. Dante, hello everyone. Nikachu, can you explain how the Uro ban makes the mid-range decks a thing again in the meta? Because, so like even when I played Uro in my Merfolk deck, it's worth so much value. I mean, you can, if you Thoughtseize Uro or you Thoughtseize a random card out of my hand, you're still supporting Uro. And then Uro comes down, I get land drops, I get cards, I'm gaining life. That's hard for a deck that's trying to 1-for-1 you to undermine. Like, you just can't. By the time I've escaped Uro, I've gained 6 life, drawn 2 cards, and got 2 extra land drops. And against a Jund player, that's just insurmountable to, like, come back from. That's backbreaking. I mean, a Jund deck or the, you know, the mid-range attrition decks, they're generally just 1-for-1ing you. Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt. Maybe they can get a little bit more value out of a Liliana the Veil, but I mean the most you get, the most value you can get is like out of Kolaghan's Command, which still doesn't work very well against an Uro deck. So with Uro out of the game, it's a lot easier to 1-for-1 that sort of archetype instead of just getting completely run over by card advantage, basically. And if they can't kill the Uro on the battlefield, gets to attack one. I think every single time Uro attacks, I mean, it's just pushing them further and further behind. So that's why I think they're going to have a better chance of coming back. Benjamin with the super chat. Thank you very much for the $5. I am so glad my Mardu midrange is now better without Uro. Time for Mardu Pyromancer or Mardu Shadow. Definitely Mardu Pyromancer. Well, I don't know if exactly with the literal Pyromancer, but we looked at those Rakdos stacks that have been popping up in the metagame with well, I guess if you count Seasoned Pyromancer as your Pyromancer, then yeah, you're right. Those decks will definitely improve significantly, and they were already decks when Uro was around, so they'll even be better decks after Uro is gone. And maybe Death Shadow will be around. Is Prowess decks good against mid-range decks like Jund? Well, here's the thing. I mean, in general, no. But if you're playing the like M. Hayashi Abash style deck, it might be good because M. Hayashi's version was just pure card advantage. Seasoned Pyromancer, Firebolt, Light Up the Stage, Abash, Lava Darts. I think I've mentioned Seasoned Pyromancer, but it was like all card advantage, and that will grind out a mid-range deck like Jund. But if you have something like Is It Blitz, that might not. They'll play their Monastery Swiftspear, you kill it. I mean, everything else is just like it's not as heavy on card advantage. I think it can get ground out. Maelstrom MTG. So I can get 1,000 ticks, but for how long / how much? Because I'm looking at getting into Magic the Gathering Online for the channel. Mana Traders plug. Oh, you want to see the? You can go. I have it open right now. I don't think the 1,000 ticks one is the best value. Your best value would be at gold if you want to get the most for your bang for your buck. Because you go like Look at this. You go from like $60 to $100 for just 100. You can get 850 ticks for $60. Or you can get 1,000 ticks for $100. It doesn't seem like you get enough. I mean, back in the Euro days, it was important. I mean, you either spend that $40, you spend like $240 for those extra euros. But anyway, so I think you're better off getting the gold plan at 850 ticks, and at 850, I mean, it depends what you're playing, right? There's a lot of decks that fit for 400 easily, no problem. But you can get a lot for 850 ticks at $60. And also, like, you should also throw the deck in the deck builder to see how much it costs, because their rates might be a little bit lower than market price. So if on the market an online deck is $430, you would think, well, you need to go for gold, but maybe you can go for premium, because after you put the deck in on MetaTraders, they value it at 300, like 398, for example. Is this the price tag of the Euro deck really that high? Jund was close to 2K at times. We're just talking about the online prices. Jund was never that expensive online. The prices online are very different from the prices on paper. Jund in paper was 2K at one point because it was like Tarmogoyf. Only because of Tarmogoyf. It was like 200, nearing $200. And the fetch lands weren't reprinted for a very long time. Hey everyone, Nikachu, can you explain how the Euroban... Oh, I went through this one. Ever watch the old Ice Age set commercials? I think I've seen some on Twitter. I don't remember much about it, though. I cannot relate to Ice Age. Do you agree that every card that could be unbanned should be unbanned? What does that mean? What is every card that could be you mean no ban modern? I think that would be chaos. I think it's absolute chaos. I think you need to have some bans. I think it's a real format if you take everything off and maybe ban 2 or 3 cards. But outside of that, I think leaving everything unbanned is just absolute chaos. You see any unban coming with the Euroban? No. But only because you never predict when it can happen. You never know when these unbans happen. You know when they're going to ban something, but you don't know when they're going to unban something. Do you think unbanning Green Sun Zenets would make Modern Maverick a thing? I'd love to play that deck in Modern. Maybe. I think Green Sun Zenith is grossly overrated. I got a lot of comments in the comment section. Oh, Nikachu doesn't know what he's talking about. You can get a Primeval Titan off this thing. I mean, you can get a Primeval Titan off of Turn Timber Symbiosis. And Turn Timber Symbiosis is already part of the mana base. And probably it can go in the Titan decks, that's for sure. But it's like, I think it's grossly overrated. I think Primeval Titan is a larger problem than Green Sun Zenith is. Green Sun Zenith, if you look at most of the decks, like the green base decks, they like can't abuse Green Sun Zenith. The Counters Company deck can't use it because you can't find Vizier of Remedies, so they can't use this tutor. The Yawgmoth deck can't use this because you can't tutor out Yawgmoth. Like, you can only find green creatures. I actually think it's more restrictive than... I think Green Sun Zenith is more restrictive than the other tutors, in my opinion. But people really overrate cards. Remember Stoneforge Mystic and Jace the Mind Sculptor? I remember over and over again. Oh, you can't. And Bloodbraid Elf. But I think everyone knew Bloodbraid Elf was a fucking joke on the ban list anyway. What do you think about the rack decks in Modern? The problem with the rack these days is that the graveyard is a big resource now in the game, so making your opponent discard their cards, not necessarily a good thing, because they can maybe utilize the cards from the graveyard. I've seen them pop up recently, though. I've been playing it randomly in leagues, so maybe there's something to it that I don't know. But anyway, the rack definitely has something going for it, but it needs something else to push it to make it like a pretty good tier deck. Chiao asks, do you think that as a byproduct of the Euroban, X1's greatness at any cost will be more playable? Maybe W6 will have less of a home now? No, the prowess decks are too popular to play X1s. It's not Ren and 6 that's the problem, it's Lava Dart. Lava Dart and gut shots and stuff like that. It's so bad. It's so bad to play X1s. Now I mentioned there's still play. Plague Engineer doesn't see a whole lot of play, but it's waiting. If there's too many X1s in the format, people will just start playing Plague Engineer in the sideboard. Not for the tribal decks, just for any one of the fucking 1/1s. Sorry, X1s that you want to play in your deck. Simple as that. Ben Mason asks, if you had to ban one card on Monday that was not on anyone's watch list at the moment, what would you ban? Not on anyone's watch list. Lava Dart. I'd ban Lava Dart. It's an odd card to ban, but I'd ban that one. And I think it would slow the format down by a lot too. I mean, I could ban a prowess creature, I guess, but Lava Dart seems fine. Damn, over 200 viewers on both YouTube channels. Nice, I know. I've got, and if we count Facebook, it's actually 243. I got 243 people. Everyone's excited to talk about Uro today. What about an MTG reality show? Yes, we just get a bunch of I'm back. I don't know what happened. The internet went out. We lost the internet, but we're back. Thanks everyone for waiting for me. What are we doing here? Where was I? We're back. You were all 72 of you. You're the hardcore fans. Everyone that waited. You knew there was a chance. There was a chance. Yeah, my a router went out. I looked at my router. It was making some bad blinking, so I restarted the router. I also restarted my computer. Now where am I? Okay, well, do you know what time it is now? It's just time for Decklist review time, in my opinion. It's time for Decklist review time. With that, everyone who was patient and stayed here, we're gonna have some Decklist review. I just got my first Lava Dart set. Don't ban it. It's not something that I think that I don't know. Maybe they could ban Lava Dart. Maybe in theory that could happen. Worst case scenario, maybe they just end up banning the prowess creatures once they realize those cards are getting absurd. 1 mana for a 1/2 creature that can get bigger, and it has some of them have haste. That's fucking dumb. It's dumb. It's just dumb. All right, let's do Decklist review. So there is in the description below, there is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord. I've also joined my Discord. Be like Nikachu. Join his own Discord. Then go to the channel Decklist Review. Enter the command !review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random to be chosen for Decklist Review. As people submit their lists, we are going to thank our sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. My favorite local game store where I buy all my Magic singles. You got to buy Magic singles. You want to check out Fusion Gaming Online. And the deal of the week this week, save 15% off Jumpstart singles and sealed products. You can save 15%, but you can save an additional 5% if you use coupon code Nikachu. And also, it helps support the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Is one of the reasons the Europiles, actually, this did not help the Europiles all that much because it was so expensive to buy the Europiles anyway, but still help contribute to, being able to play any single deck you want, any deck, any format, anytime. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or you can save yourself 15% off your first 3 months using my coupon code Nikachu. All right, let's get into Decklist review. Just in time for Decklist review. Sweet. Humans actually came up. Actually, this banning is probably not so great for humans. I think humans was doing well. Actually, I can't tell. Maybe they weren't doing that great versus Uro. But they were doing great against the combo decks. Trying to make Pyre of Heroes work in Modern. Absolutely, you can. All right, the Pline Lakong. Congratulations, you are the next contestant. On Decklist review, congratulations. Da-na-da-na. Da-na-da-da-da-na. I'd love to use some Price is Right sound effects for this. Oh, sick. I think this is going to be awesome. Burning zombies? Why is it burning? So we got the 4 Pyre of Heroes, and I've said this before, I think Zombies is a fantastic shell for this sort of card, because a lot of these cards come back anyway. I mean, you bring back the Gravecrawler from the graveyard anyway, so you can sack Gravecrawler, get something, replay Gravecrawler. No, you basically don't lose anything. Undying Creature, sure. Butcher Ghoul, Metallic Mimic. I'm not really high on Metallic Mimic. I think this is a bit of a gimmicky creature, but maybe with Pyre of Heroes it's going to be better. But it's not something you can sacrifice, which is something I don't like. And you don't get any immediate value out of a card like this. Putrid Goblin, Persist, Undead Augur. Undead Augur is a very good value card. Wayward Servant, Diregraph Colossus, Graf's Messenger, Lifebane Zombie, Endling, Undead Warchief, God Eternal Oketra, and Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So are you playing Deafening Silence just because you're playing white just for Deafening Silence? Because you don't really have a good... There's actually no reason to play the white in this deck, in my opinion. I don't mind the Gray Merchant. You have a 4-drop. Zombie spells you play cost 1 less. Zombie spells you control get +2/+1. I like that. You have something Endling? Okay, hold on. Okay. You really have to sell me that the white is good enough in this deck. And you have 12 white sources? It's close. Oh, you only have 20 lands. We need more mana. Okay, so first off, you got to trim the top end of your deck. I would say cut a Gray Merchant. I would say cut the God. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with vigilance. And this thing has double strike. Whenever God Oketra... Actually, this is a pretty strong card. Whenever it dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, it may put on top of its owner's library 3rd from the top. Maybe too vulnerable, though. You're too heavy. Your deck is too heavy. It's too clunky. It's Clunk City. You only have 20 lands. That's just not gonna work, period. So you need to make your deck like lower on curve, or you have to add Ether Vial. So it's not, some things I'm looking to cut. I'm looking to cut the... First off, I want more Geralf's Messenger. I think this card's great. Or I guess... I think it's good by itself. And I do understand you could use it to chain through Pyre of Heroes. Endling gains Menace until end of turn. Endling gains Death Touch until end of turn. Endling gains Undying until end of turn. Okay, that's fine. So that's a worthy card to Pyre of Heroes into. I really like this Pyre of Heroes into stuff with Undying. I think that's great synergy. What's the one zombie that lets you return one when it dies? I don't remember. There's quite a few. Yeah, Zombie Pod. The white was actually just for Deafening Silence to fight Tybalt's Trickery, so I put some white zombies too. You know what? I would cut all... Oh, you have Path to Exile in here too. I'd cut all this stuff. Just make it mono black or go blue. I mean, moving to white is not too bad. There are some whites, like until end of turn creatures you control get +1/+1, and creatures your opponents control get -1/-1. Like, I don't think this is a good card. Disenchant is fine. Also say Nihil Deafening Silence is also fine. Like, it is a good sideboard card, but we have a lot of sideboard cards you could use. Like, oh, what is that card called? Damping Sphere is even possible. There's a lot of stuff. Is there a super chat that I'm missing? It might have been when... Oh, shoot. Was there a super chat that happened when I was gone? I hope I didn't miss any super chats. Nikachu, did you miss the paid donation? I might have missed the paid donation. That sucks. What was it? Okay, what was... Someone repeat the paid donation. What was the question? Maybe Yawgmoth instead of Endling? Well, I like I would replace maybe Undead War Chief with Yawgmoth. That's possible. Because this doesn't have Undying. I like that this has Undying. So you give it Undying, you sack it, and then you get it back anyway. You could also add Pithing Needle for the flip Tybalt. So Yawgmoth is worthwhile. Okay, Carrion Feeder, I love it. Gravecrawler, I love it. Butcher Ghoul, it's okay. Maybe you should have one of these so that you go Gravecrawler into Butcher Ghoul, because I don't know if you need more than one of these. Metallic Mimic, I'm super low on this card. You can't sacrifice it. I think it has crap synergy for the most part. Maybe it doesn't have crap synergy. I see where you want to go. You bring the creatures into play. And the Undying gets like 2 +1/+1 triggers. Like, they get really big really fast. I don't know about this one. I just don't know about this. Putrid Goblin, Persist. Like, again, you might not need too many of these Persist cards. No, I could be wrong. Maybe you want as many of these 2-drops as possible, because if you don't have a 1-drop, you need the 2-drop to sack. Oh, no, this is Persist. This is worse. You should get more Undying creatures. Undying is better. Oh, no, but the Undying starts smaller. I think I'd prefer to have Butcher, but I don't know. Now I don't know what I want. Undead Augur, this is very good. Wayward Servant. In this deck, I don't know. Maybe. Fraser says, I sent the super chat, was curious, what do you think about Eternal Command? Used to love it back in the day. I love that deck. You know what? You know what got me back into Magic back around 2013? It was actually watching this deck in action. Seriously. I was watching the Players' Championship where I watched that Players' Championship 5 times where Shota Yasuoka was just crushing everyone with Eternal Command. And what it is, it's like a rug. It's a rug mid-range deck that plays Eternal Witness and Cryptic Command. And also, if you go check out what's it called, Tamaharo Saito's YouTube channel. It's a Japanese YouTube channel, but he played the Jund deck that was played in the finals versus Shota Yasuoka's Eternal Command deck, and it's a fantastic match to watch. And it was played like just recently. They just had a match with those old 2 archetypes, and he plays it. The lines that he takes are just, I can't predict anything. Shota Yasuoka is an absolute master. I love that deck. It's really cool. I don't know how competitive it is today, but I imagine if someone wanted to put the work in, they could probably make it work today. I mean, Eternal Command is really not far off from like Mystic Sanctuary loops anyway. It was like that was the Mystic Sanctuary loop before there was a Sanctuary loop. Anyway, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I guess I didn't see it because you donated it while I was disconnected, and it's not showing up on my feed. Okay, back to the deck list. Because there's a lot of good zombies out there. I would prefer to have more Geralf's Messengers just because this is a very good card. At least one more of these. Diregraph Colossus, ETB for +1/+1 counter for each zombie card in your graveyard, which there might not be many of because you're recurring them back, right? Whenever you cast a zombie spell, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. Fraser, I have to send another $5 because I had the exact same experience watching Shota play. I absolutely love watching him play. Shota's an absolute dream. I'd love it if he either brought that Eternal Command deck back to Modern, or someone else brought it back to Modern. It's hard to play though, based on like what he was doing, the way he was attacking, how he was playing with Huntmaster of the Fells. I couldn't predict anything, but there was a game where he was like flooding out, but he still like put up a really good fight against a Jund deck, off of the back of like a single Huntmaster of the Fells. It was phenomenal. Okay, but what are we gonna replace everything with? Okay, we have to. Okay, first off, we either need more lands or we need to add Aether Vial to this deck. So what is it going to be? Let's take the easy route. Let's add Aether Vial and probably one more land. So we got to cut 1 Gray Merchant. I'll cut the God. Let's get rid of the Undead War Chief. And probably Lifebane Zombie. This is probably not necessary. So there's 4 cards. Because you don't have enough mana. Or you can cut the 4 Path to Exile. That's actually not a bad plan either, given that you are a Pyre of Heroes deck. But I think you want... Honestly, think this should just be Fatal Push or something. Fatal Push would be great because you get Revolt so often in this deck, thanks to the Pyre of Heroes. In my opinion. I feel like he just moves on to this next crazy brew, so he probably isn't interested in returning to it. But it's such a good brew. It's so good. What can we do with the mana base? Caves of Koilos cannot be the best land. Godless Shrine, Concealed Courtyard. I think some fetch lands... I mean, maybe this is on a budget, but I think some fetch lands would be the way to go here. Is Shota the designer of the Final Fantasy TCG? I don't know. Since you mentioned sometimes you want to play different decks, how about showing the decks that you like Eternal Command from time to time? The problem is I suck with those decks. That's why. And I can't invest too much time into them. But maybe once in a while I can play stuff like that. I'm much more comfortable playing tribal decks. Okay, so what we need to replace some of these zombies. I don't mind the persistent undead cards. They're like okay. But I need, like, if I'm scrapping some of these cards, I mean, I would prefer to just play way more Geralf's Messengers. I mean, if there's only one Geralf Messenger, then I can only sack a 2-drop into Geralf's Messenger once. But I want to have that ability more than once. In fact, I would love to sack a messenger into another messenger, into another messenger, into another messenger. Now, there was the suggestion to put Yawgmoth in. I think this is a good suggestion. Oh my god, too many Yawgmoth cards. Protection from humans, pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1. counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Discard a card, proliferate. So you can put like more counters on your creatures. This actually looks really good. It's really good with undead creatures, which have the +1/+1 counters on them. Oh, and there's also a pseudo combo with this, and two I forgot, Yawgmoth combos off with Geralf's Messenger. If you have 2 Geralf's Messengers in play and 1 Yawgmoth, you basically win the game. See, what you do is so long as you have enough life. So you sacrifice a Geralf's Messenger to put a -1/-1 counter on the other messenger. The other messenger comes with a +1/+1 counter, and then you just sack the messengers to each other. And as you sack one messenger, you remove the +1/+1 counter by putting a -1/-1 counter on the other one. So I'd love to go the Yawgmoth plan in this sort of deck. So definitely have maybe 2 Yawgmoths in here in place of maybe like Metallic Mimic. Is there a cleric to get Yawgmoth? We don't need a cleric. We just need this. We just need to sack a 3-drop to get Pyre of Heroes, and that would work perfectly. So I want you 4 messengers. I want like 2 Yawgmoths in here so you can find the messenger. Like I'm getting excited to play something like this, and maybe I should make my own zombie deck with Pyre of Heroes. I think there's a lot to offer in this deck if you play Pyre of Heroes with zombies. Like there's great synergy here. It's fantastic synergy, and I'd prefer to go mono black. I don't know if the white splash. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Deafening Silence is very good right now. But here's another thing. You can't play, if you want to play Deafening Silence on turn 1, and ideally you do, you need 14 white sources. You only have 12. So you have to kick out 2 swamps for maybe some fetch lands. Like you might want 6 fetch lands, 4 caves, get rid of the Caves of Koilos, 2 swamps, get 6 fetch lands. So then it is just 1 Geralf's Messenger and Yawgmoth to win. No, you need at least 2 messengers in your deck, because you need to sack them to each other. I would prefer to have 4 messengers, honestly. I think this is a great card. This is underrated. This will fuck over every attrition-based deck. I don't think I've ever lost a game when I put a messenger in play against like Jund. Like, this is a fucking nightmare. They kill it, and then it comes back, deals damage, and it's bigger. I mean, that's an absolute beating, in my opinion. Well, I know I didn't give any concrete advice, but I hope I'm moving in the right direction. Because as is, this deck is way too clunky. You have like way too few lands. Your mana base doesn't support the white splash that you want. Like, it's so top heavy. I don't mind having 1 random Gray Merchant in the deck as a top end win condition. So you win out of nowhere. But it's out from that, we have to cut the curve down. And then get rid of some of the stuff that does. I could be underrating. I think I like Butcher Ghoul more than Undead Augur. I'm not sure though, but I think so. Zombies, Cleric, 3-drop, but I need Crypt Breaker is okay, but it's not a good sack target. So even though the messenger comes back before the Yawg ability, you can't target it. Well, that's why I'm saying you need 2 messengers. You need 2 messengers. 2 messengers in play. Sack one, put a -1/- counter on the other one. Comes back with a +1/+1 and sack the other, put the -1/- counter on the other one. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. Your opponent to death. Relentless Dead? Would this work? The one comes back, right? Stuff that comes back is good. When it dies, you can pay a black. If you do, return it to its owner's hand. I don't like that. I don't like that. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay X. If you do, return another target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Don't like that. We're going to be choked on mana in this deck because Pyre of Heroes requires 2 mana to activate. We're going to be a little too... we're going to be choked on mana, so we can't spend mana when we activate any abilities. Anyway, hope that's some useful feedback. It's really cool. Inspires me to make my own zombie deck because I think there's actually a lot of potential out of Pyre of Heroes in a variety of tribal decks. Thanks for submitting the list. Grixis God, congratulations. You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. Grixis God, Urza's Breach. What does this look like? Okay, we got Thassa's Oracle and Emery and Urza, Saheeli Sublime Artificer, Teferi Time Raveler, Galvanic Blast, Lightning Bolt, Pull from Eternity. Put target face-up card that's removed from the game into its owner's graveyard. Put target face-up card that's removed from the game into its owner's graveyard. Okay, so basically a card that you know that's in exile, put it in the graveyard. That is a very bizarre card to have in the deck. 2 Spell Pierce, a Void Snare. Unusual card as well. Lightning Helix, Whir of Invention. But I guess, hey, Void Snare may be useful right now. If your opponent has like an early Tibalt and they exile some cards, you can Void Snare it back to their hand. Well, I don't know. It's maybe not the greatest value. What do you think about Red-Green Titan Shift, Titan Breach post-ban? Unplayable. So long as Amulet Titan is the... So long as Dryad of the Elysian Grove is played in Amulet Titan, Titan Shift does nothing better than Amulet does. That's the problem. It's just a strictly worse Titan deck. Dryad of the Elysian Grove killed that deck. Even though it was played in the deck for a little while. It's just the other Titan decks just do... They just need to play Dryad of the Elysian Grove and boom, they can play Valakut. Like, what bullshit is that? I feel sorry for the Titan Shift players. Whir of Invention, Lightning Helix, Engineered Explosives, Bauble, Amber, 2 Relics. That's a bizarre one. Grinding Station. Sacrifice an artifact. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you may untap Grinding Station. So I say this one's weird because you exile your graveyard, and I think you want your graveyard, right? Sword of the Meek, Thopter, like you could end up like exiling your Sword of the Meek by accident, or like your Mishra's Baubles with Emery. Is this stock in these? Like I'm sort of familiar with this type of deck, and we have Underworld Breach here. Yeah, this is the Underworld Breach deck. Flame Slash, Grafdigger's Cage, Pithing Needle, Pull from Eternity, Damping Sphere, Force Negation, Mystical Dispute. So what's Pull from Eternity's purpose? To like bring back stuff that you exiled with Relic and then put it back in your graveyard? Or is it to fight against other people's like exiling effects? Nihil Spellbomb is a possibility. I actually don't have very good feedback. But I do get a sense that this deck isn't very cohesive. Like you have like one ofs of this for no reason, and it's not something that goes into the graveyard, so it's not like you can spill it by accident with Emery and then start using it. There's a lot of like you have 1 Lightning Bolt, 3 Galvanic Blast. Why not just 4 Galvanic Blast? The relics don't make sense to me. Everything else makes sense. Even like the 2 Teferi Time Raveler and a Saheeli, that's fine. So I understand you're trying to grind. What the hell is this deck? So it's a Grinding Station deck. It's a combo deck where you try to sacrifice an artifact. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you may untap Grinding Station. Wait, what is the combo exactly? How does it interact with Sword? Sword of the Meek, it doesn't matter, right? Sacrifice an artifact, target player. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you may untap Grinding Station. What was the combo? Now I'm confused. Oh yeah, okay, so you have Underworld Breach in play. Each non-land card in your graveyard has Escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. How convenient! At the end of at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach. So basically, you can recur the 0 mana spells like over and over again. So you get Grinding Station, sacrifice an artifact, just sack Mox Amber. Target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. So the point is you keep exiling all your stuff from your graveyard. Aha. Okay, so, and then if you put your... What if you dump your Thassa? So you dump your Thassa, you pull for an Eternity, you put it into your graveyard? What the fuck? But then how do you use it from... Oh, but then you Underworld Breach and you can use it. Okay. So it's just, if you accidentally exile your Thassa, you have the option to play Pull from Eternity. Is that worth it? Is that the only way you can win here? I can't remember if they were playing this card. Like, I don't remember them playing this card. The sideboard seems fine. Deafening Silence, Flame Slash, Grafdigger's Cage. So anyway, the overall point is they want to mill themselves with their 0-mana spells. And then win the game with Thassa's Oracle. They do have the option of winning the game with Saheeli Sublime Artificer. That's happened to me many times before. So if the opponent is on some, like, hate plan against this, you can win. Yeah, I mean, there's some alternate... The one weird thing is this deck looks like it's trying to win in a million ways. Look, you got the Sword of the Meek Thopter Foundry combo, so you can just randomly win with, like, Urza Lord High Artificer. What other, like, and I guess that's the vibe I'm getting. You're going in so many directions that you might not be consistent for any of them, and you might have to just cut one of these plans. I have not been looking at these lists, so for all I know, maybe jamming all 3 of them at once works, but in general, that does not work in combo decks. It's like we got, so how many combos do we have here? We have 1, 2, and sort of a third grindy plan with Saheeli Sublime Artificer. This is usually a sideboard card to bring against people who are going to fight against the Urza deck, like your Urza plan or your Underworld Breach plan. So if they, like, for example, bring in Rest in Peace or something, then you don't have those infinite combos with Urza. But if you have Saheeli Sublime Artificer, then you just play cards, put a bunch of tokens on the battlefield, and ignore the graveyard hate. Why can't I watch the old Coffee and MTGs? You can find them, Benny, on Nikachu MTG streams. That's where I post all my VODs at the end. All the streams go there. So just YouTube up Nikachu MTG streams. It's just not on my main channel because it'd be just clogging up my channel. But Nikachu MTG streams, I don't give a fuck what goes there. I just dump it all there. So you can find the replay to this. I gotta put a banner somewhere like Nikachu. Find replays at Nikachu MTG streams or something. We got 2 YouTube channels. It's got gameplay there and everything. Yeah, it does need a 0-mana artifact, which we have a few. We have Mishra's Bauble and we have Mox Amber. This is so confusing though. Why Relic? Did these decks play Relic? I don't remember. Maybe this deck doesn't care that much. Still has the Pull from Eternity. Anyway, I honestly don't have much feedback. I've never played this deck before. It was around for a very short period of time and then just disappeared. So I don't have a very good sense of what, like, strong or weak. But just looking at the deck building, it's a little all over the place. It's not focused. You need to have, like, decks are more consistent when it's focused. So you're, like, hedging against a lot of stuff, but you're not all in on any particular thing either. Will Mystic Reflection put Merfolk on the modern map? Probably not. It's a janky combo. It still might be a good card, but I don't think it'll put anything over the top. Welcome, Benny. All right, that's it for Coffee and MTG. Sorry for the little bit of a hiccup earlier. Gotta thank everyone for showing up today, making me a daily part of your routine. And don't forget, if I did not get to your questions or comments or your deck list, don't worry, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you love Coffee and MTG, you want to support the channel, you could leave a subscription at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. If you got an Amazon Prime, you know, you people on YouTube with those cold Amazon Primes not being eaten, send me your Amazon Prime on twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. It's free for you, costs you nothing except a bit of time to connect your Prime account to Twitch, and it supports the channel. And also, you can also support me on Patreon, patreon.com/NikachuMTG. Or you could just join on YouTube. I've got a join button. So thank you very much, everyone, for your comments, questions, your discussion, the super chats, everything. So keep brewing up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up the Magic discussion. See you next time.